Live. Welcome back or to the channel. Trucker Rod and the S.E.E channel. Just got to make sure I got all my lights on in here. Just the sun went down and it got dark a little quicker than I anticipated. So before we get started, if you can, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. We are getting some consistent growth week after week, and normally I would probably shoot a video on a Wednesday, Thursday. I got done a day and a half early. I kind of had a hunch I was going to have the route done, but not this far ahead. Didn't break any laws, speeding or anything like that. Just the way the route lays out. You'd be surprised when you leave on Sunday. I made a delivery on Sunday and we shot that video Sunday night, but I got all my West Virginia done and I got all my Virginia done on Monday, and actually just kind of took my time, but things went well. And when you know the route, that helps too, because you know how to approach and get into every customer. But the other thing is, Mother Nature was on my side, and for once, this is the way the route should run. Way more efficient, and not being pushed out an extra day because you're running half speed and watching out for people dive bombing into you as they're slipping and sliding around on the roads. So, again, I want to reiterate, why do I know that truck? Why do I know that truck? I know that cat. He was, this guy right here. He was this W900, which is probably going to back in right next to me. He was in the Blue Beacon Wash Bay. Sunday morning. Hobby dip, because I say that, cool fact about this cat with this W9 is he had to sell his first truck when he got divorced, to kind of get out of debt. He's got this truck and he bought it. His dad had passed away and left him some money, so he bought it and had the truck custom built. He had it painted. It's got a 2WS Caterpillar in it. It's non emissions, pre-ELD. It's a dream truck. Yeah, it's the same cat. He must have went somewhere and got it dirty. So, anywho, he's looking good. It was nice talking with him and all that. So he's out. How do you want to say in a cowboy terms? He's riding his last ride. So when his health and this truck's done, he's done. So he's older than I am, but living the dream and driving my dream truck. So where was I at before squirrel? Got distracted, because trucks like mine, dime a dozen, they're just a slow plastic torpedo turd running down the road. It's a truck, it makes a paycheck, but it's, you can go out in a black sedan and just go out and do your sales calls, but boy, it's a big difference when you've got a nice sleek sports car. Gives you a little bit more something to look forward to and all that. But where was I? I lost my train of thought. The weather and running it efficient. So definitely running efficient on the route this week, and enough that I did another ride along. Hey, I was going to get a ride along out by the front of this week. I had to play around with it for the last couple of nights. I had to go way back to the very raw footage of that video. I went in a time warp, but I didn't adjust the speeds on it. I went in there on my GoPro, and there is a speed to decrease it down. So I didn't think about it when I set it up, so I'm going to do that next time. But I was able to slow the video down. It was like an hour's worth of video in 1 minute and 39 seconds. So it was just like a blur watching it. So I had to slow it down. I got it spread out, slowed it down, saved it, slowed it down, saved it, and finally it's pushed out to 13 minutes, and it should be good now. I sat and watched periodic, just skipped through places and watched it for 30 seconds, and I said, all right, this is something y'all can tolerate. I wish I would have just done a little better. I'm still learning the backside of those of the GoPro settings, but I just about got it done, and it's in the phone here on my editor, but I'm halfway through just overlaying the music, and then I just got to upload it and schedule it out. So look for that probably Thursday morning. And then I did another one ride along today, and I'm not going to say from where to where because I want to make sure that gets uploaded and all that jazz. So I haven't looked at it. I just went in, looked at the time, and it's like an hour and 9 minutes. But by the time, and I went into regular mode. So now that I've kind of I want to say retaught myself to go into the settings, and I can set the time warp up then. So anywho, I'll get that uploaded tonight or when I get back home. And we'll get that scheduled for the front side of next week. So route went well. I've had blue skies, and I found out this week my AC pretty much is dead or dying. It's barely getting any cooler than it is outside. So this has got to go in now. It's a grocery list of problems that this truck needs. It needs the alignment recheck, needs steer tires, it needs a wire harness. As I explained the other day, it's going to get a new wire harness from the control module down to the wheels, laid out along, front and both drive axles. So it needs a complete wire harness. They have it, and they're ready to install it. Needs a PM, oil filters and all that jazz greased, and the AC gone through. So I'm sure they're going to have it for a spell again. Reflecting back, I just never known. I've noticed this today coming up from, because last night I stayed in Glad Spring, Virginia, and that's the Petro I always stay at outside of Bristol. Then I went across 81 and all that this morning. But that's the other thing, getting these live streams out. I like the live stream because you guys get to see the real deal, and I'm not editing anything out. I basically just bounced off my 10-hour restart, and I'm going to be doing that tonight. I've got it when my 10 hours is reset for a fresh day. Then I've got to get on the road at that time. I got to get back up to Michigan. I am right now currently. Last night was the Petro in Glad Spring, Virginia. Tonight I'm in the TA in Seymour, Indiana. And I got to get back to Michigan, grab a trailer, and I got to run what they call the thumb. So basically the thumb of Michigan. I got to run up there and around the Flint area. So I got to get that knocked out, and then whether I get back tomorrow or not, but I'll be back in Michigan, and that's probably going to absorb most of my hours for the week. So, and I did something I normally don't do. So let me see if I can turn this camera around. Last week I had, turn around. That turd went out on me. My old one. I had a Garmin. I've always ran Garmins. This is my third one in the last 10 years. And the first one did not burn up. The on-off button fell out, and I couldn't get in there to turn it on or off without sticking a pin down in it. And then I got the, I believe the 580. That lasted for 5-6 years. And then I just got this one to the house last Saturday, and we hurried up and downloaded everything off my old one onto this one. The other one last week froze up, wouldn't move. And it's been like last summer was so hot. I noticed it in the wintertime when the heat's blowing up on it, gets overheated and it freezes. So then I got to take it off the window like in the summertime, throw it in front of the vents and cool it down with the AC. So it froze up and it never came back around, and it booted off and it just would not power back up. Actually, we did not download my route, which is like 100 and some stops on that, was on there. My wife had done an update in December on the last one, and it saved all my stops, so she was able to pull that out of the website, the Garmin website where we're registered at with the updates for these. Pulled it off and then put them on here. So I've been still learning this thing. It's 3 days out with this Garmin, so I'm learning it. This is the, oh Laura, what is this? My wife knows. I can't remember. It's the 710, 750, 760. It's the 7 series Garmin with the truck mode and all that. So so far so good. I don't want to go any bigger than that. I may if this goes, I'll probably go down a smaller size. I just don't want anything big and gaudy in the freaking window. And I know I could put it probably down here, but then this has got a built-in dash cam. So putting it down here, away from the windshield, out of the windshield, then takes away the value and spending the money for the dash cam. The dash cam, of course, if I hit a pothole or anything, that thing goes off. Now, the last one, it had an SD card. It had an 8 gig SD card. This came standard with a 16 gig SD card. The wife upped it even more. So 512 capacity SD card, gig, 512 gig SD card, one for the Garmin. This thing has 2 SD cards. The last one only had 1. This one has 2, so we have 2 512 gig SD cards. One's for the dash cam for recording, and the other one is for holding all my stops and all the mapping updates on it. And that's why we were thinking is the 8 gig was maxed out. She couldn't do any more updates. When the card maxes out, it won't take any more updates. So we put the big boy cards in there, and we'll see where that goes from here going forward. So 3 days out, not even a week with it. And then, of course, there's my Geotab E-log. So, yeah, so anyhow, I'm in sleeper berth mode. Off, drive, on duty, all that jazz. So, yep, and 512 gigabyte, one for the GPS and one for the dash cam. Yep. And today, I'm coming back here in the sleeper. Buc-ees. That is, come on, that is their club melt. And that is their brisket. And I already had another brisket taco earlier. I'm going to do this one up with the provolone cheese. And I like this Kinder's honey barbecue sauce. So I'm going to spice that up. And have that for dinner when I'm done with you folks. And finish up the editing and get the other one scheduled on that. So, yeah, so that's where we're at here in the TA. Just look around. I am like 65 foot long, with this Cascadia. So this cat right here is backed alongside me. I'm just going to open the door and step out. Here's the other guy that was in the wash bay next to me. That's his truck right there, that blue one. So, his flatbed, the back of his flatbed is even with mine. Even with mine. That's where the nose of his truck is. Way out there. But there's the back of his sleeper is nearly right up just about to my steer tires. Look at the stretch on that thing. Look at that frame is so stretched. Holy shit. I can't believe it. That's a lot of stretch. I don't know. A lot of guys are into that stretch frames, but boy, that thing is stretched. That is got to be that's got to be good 10-foot stretch or more. So he's out there. Yeah, I'm more of that guy right there. So yeah, he did that one up because I know that paint job, and I know the way that thing was dressed out because we sat there staring at it. And that thing's got a chime to it too with the straight pipes on it. Come on, get out of the way. So we'll just flip that up. So anyhow, yeah, that's what's going on for this week. Finish out the route, get back, and then once I get back from that second route, then see it turned me around here. Then unhook and get this thing down to the shop. And I don't know if I'm taking one of our trucks or if they got a truck reserved for me. So I expect they're going to have this minimum of a week, but I'm going to guess every time this thing's got a grocery list. Last year they had it for 5 weeks this time last year. Then in the summer the transmission went out and that was a month. Then they had it for 3-4 days, almost a week, when the alignment went in for the alignment. And then when we went to Texas for the wife's surgery, I had the truck in April for depth sensors and alignment then. So they had it for a week. I mean, this truck's going on 2.5 months of downtime in the last 14 months. So I'm pretty disappointed and pretty disgusted, but my name's not on there, so I would raise Cain, but I'm not going to fret until either something major goes wrong and I am down again as I was when the transmission went out. So, yeah, other than that, that's what's going on. I stopped at Buc-ees today in Richmond, Kentucky, and moseyed around in there. Took my half-hour break. There is a farm field next to it with a service road, and that's where the trucks are pulling alongside and walking over across the street to the Buc-ees, because obviously, you can't park semis at Buc-ees. They are anti-truck, semi-commercial trucks for all the life of us in that aspect. So, yeah, gonna cut it short. Getting kind of hungry, want to finish up, and then I got to be up. Let's see, my restart time is, I shut down, when did I shut down? 2 hours ago, so 6:48. So 3:45 in the morning, so it means I got to get up around 2:45, go in, get a shower, and get back out here and get pre-tripped and all that and get on my way when the clock, after the clock dings, I do my pre-trip is what I'm saying, then get going. So probably be on the road by 4. So I should be back up to the yard around 9:30, probably 9:30 because I stop and fuel up. But yeah, so I don't want to keep this too long. If you're viewing this after the live stream, if there's any comments that you'd like to chime in on and ask to bring to the next live stream, I'll be more than happy to address that. So other than that, I appreciate y'all dropping in, checking us out. Dinner's awaiting, and I got a short night before I got to get back on the road. So anyhow, folks, stay safe, continue educating yourself. Knowledge is learned and not taught, and we will see you all in the next video.